What is up, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful episode of The Break Room, brought to you by The Life of Gaming. Water cooler conversation in your face.
Well, that didn't work.
You tried, man. You tried.
That was a letdown.
Yeah. But in this episode, yesterday we kind of talked a little bit about the digital future and things like that. But that brings up another question that was kind of on the top of my mind, and that's to do with pre-orders. Because the hot thing right now, the GameStop and Best Buy and all these places are doing, they've been doing it for a little while now. It really started last generation when they started doing all these bonuses, is doing pre-orders. Because now companies are getting to the point, because video games are so expensive, right? And they got to make sure people are buying these games. And so they say, if you buy this now and pay full price, we will give you a Nintendo Switch t-shirt you can wear in the game. So, I mean, they're trying to drop these little breadcrumbs to get people to buy their games early. And I understand with consoles, right? Consoles totally make sense. Like, things with Nintendo Switch, they're like impossible to find. You had to pre-order if you wanted to have it day one. And even pre-ordering it, people didn't get it day one, right?
That's right.
And so consoles I totally get. But let me just ask you, just right out of the gate, why would anybody want to pre-order a game? I mean, is it because we're so excited for it that we feel like I have to just give them my money now?
No,
to show I have ownership in this greatness? So
I think this comes from I think this is very heavily a pre-digital game world or concept.
Sure.
Back when games, especially let's back up. I remember going to EB Games, RIP, for GameCube launch, and I remember when Super Monkey Ball came in.
Oh, and Super Monkey Ball was so good.
They got
that game.
2 copies of Super Monkey Ball.
Oh, wow.
And look, as great as the GameCube was, man, they did not order a lot of software. Not a lot of people bought a lot of stuff for that game, unfortunately, or for that system.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember walking in, and I was like, "Oh, sir, did you pre-order it?" I'm like, "No, I didn't freaking pre-order it. Just let me have the." It was like,
Sure.
"Oh, we only got 2 copies." I'm like, "Is this a video game store? Or is this like a Walgreens?" I don't understand.
Yeah.
But that was the first experience that I had where I was like, I don't understand. So I actually so from that experience, I started pre-ordering games, and it was all based on I wanted to be able, exactly what you said about consoles, but that's how software used to be too, especially if you were a Nintendo fan, because they didn't make a lot of Nintendo games. But I mean, I would do that with all big releases, just because I wanted to make sure that I could play it on day one. Sure. So I think that's where it starts. So to answer your question of, is there a reason to pre-order games now? That doesn't exist anymore, because let's say you do walk into the store and you're like, oh man, they're sold out of Mass Effect Andromeda. That's fine. Drive back home, open up whatever shop you're shopping on, and you can buy it, whether it's Steam or PSN or Xbox Live, and you can buy it right there, download it, and play it. And so so you're never going to run out of games or run out of copies, because you have a digital option. So it's definitely not, and I think that developers, so what you're talking about is developers have started figuring this out, that, oh crap, we need to actually add something else. And so it's like, oh, we're going to give you these free weapons, and you get double XP for your first day, and here's a really cool cape that you can wear, or here's a t-shirt or a pin or whatever the crap that they give you.
And most of the time it has the problem with the pre-order stuff is that, at least for the most part, they have to make sure it doesn't give you like an actual advantage, right? I mean, sure, they'll do some double XP things and things like that every once in a while, or maybe you can play the game early. That's actually, to me, that's probably the biggest incentive they can give, is play the game early, which is awesome. But most of the time it's like you got a t-shirt, or you get, a different color for your gun. And all that really does is, when you're playing on multiplayer, people are like, oh, that guy knows what he's doing. He must have pre-ordered. Like, there's no real benefit to it anymore. I mean, outside of just, because the very first game I ever pre-ordered, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
That's a good call. That was a good call.
That was, I bought it through EB Games, right?
R.I.P.
Right.
Hashtag R.I.P.
But even with that, the release date came and went. Weeks came and went. And it took forever. I finally got it in the mail. Ripped it open, had that gold cartridge, looked super sharp, super excited.
Do you still have that?
Probably not. Actually, I think I do have the box and the game in my parents' basement somewhere.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I think I have my N64, my GameCube's actually hooked up to my TV still. My Super Nintendo had it all at my parents' house. Now my original NES I don't have anymore. Kind of wish I did. And like Sega Genesis, there's systems I lost along the way. I wish I still had.
Yeah.
But like, you're right. Now, like back then, you had to pre-order it. If you wouldn't even get it within the first like 2 or 3 months of it being released, you had to pre-order it. Because even if you wouldn't get it day of, you were in line. You were the next guy on the list. When as soon as they shipped them out, you would get it. Because the games were scarce, right? Especially Nintendo stuff, games are scarce. But I feel like nowadays, the problem companies are having is they're overproducing, right? Now, I don't know if that's maybe that's based on pre-order numbers. Maybe companies are overproducing because they think we have to sell every single copy of the pre-order people, plus we're going to do the entire original batch we planned on doing anyway, right?
Yeah.
And so games are dropping in price like a month or less after launch. It's like, remember that game this dude pre-ordered and paid $60 for? Now it's $10, or whatever it is, because they're overproducing. But I feel like with pre-order games now, for the most part, unless it's like a small indie title or a Nintendo title, you can walk in the store the day of and buy it. Because I really can't think of a game off the top of my head where the last time where I wanted it, went in the store and couldn't find it. I mean, that's really rare nowadays.
Yeah, unless it's Nintendo. Nintendo still has that problem, but
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that that's what led to all this free stuff. For that exact reason, trying to properly gauge what the audience is going to buy, and I think what's important is what they're trying to do is say, hey, we're going to give you the stuff, but go ahead and tell us if you're going to buy it now, so we know if you're going to get a copy or not. And it's different from just guessing. They do focus tests and they do studies, and they're like, we think we're going to sell 200,000 copies, or go to a month before release when you start actually printing them, or a month and a half. They normally go gold pretty close, and they start printing them pretty close to actual launch.
And so a huge day one patch, which is a whole other story.
Yeah, of course. but let's say that they go to that meeting and they're like, hey, we have our pre-order numbers from both Amazon and GameStop and Walmart and Target, and we're going to move 350,000 copies of pre-orders. So maybe we need to up our manufacturing numbers, or they've only had 80,000 pre-orders, so we may need to lower our expectation and make up the difference in digital. And then if you have to go back to a reprint, like that's definitely something that you can do, and I think that's why you see publishers really hyping up pre-orders for that reason. I will say this. So with the Switch, I have bought a couple of. Okay, let's back up. The last physical game that I bought, so I bought Assassin's Creed 3, and I pre-ordered it, and I got it physical because it came with an Alex Ross metal tin case, like a metal book. Or a cover, and I still love it. That game was hot garbage. I think I actually just threw the game into the backyard, but I still kept the case. I love the case. That was the last physical game that I bought up until Toys to Life. So I did buy a physical version because you had to buy physical for the bases. So I did buy a physical Disney Infinity, and I bought a physical Lego Dimensions. However, both Disney Infinity 2.0 and 3.0 I bought digital because the actual portal was forward proof, and so that's kind of my buying history. However, with Switch coming out, the fact that I have 2 Switches and you can't trade games between the two, and I have the kids playing and stuff too, so I did buy Zelda. 1-2 Switch and Bomberman all physical. And this is what I love. Amazon understands me, because Amazon doesn't care about giving you stuff. We spent like the last 5 years of all this crap that GameStop's going to give you, or if you go to Walmart, it's different, or it's Target. Amazon just says, "Hey, guess what? We're going to take $10 off your purchase price."
Right. Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Yep. Sign me up. I will always do that, because now, no matter what happens, that game will always be cheaper on Amazon than anywhere else, even if I download it digitally.
Right.
And that is a brilliant move. Yep. And so Amazon has all of my business for now. So I actually have started pre-ordering. Now, what I wanted to touch on is I actually like pre-ordering digitally. And so
that
Xbox
way it's pre-installed at midnight.
Yeah. So Xbox One does this really good, and the Switch, it looks like that capability is built in there, but there's not a lot of games yet, so I don't know if it does that. I don't have a PlayStation, but I'm pretty sure the PlayStation does a similar thing. But basically, you go in and you can buy it whenever you want it. It doesn't matter. You can buy it as soon as they put it up, which you can actually. I think that they put what was I reading? I think they put like the new. Shadow of that.
Shadow of War.
The what is it? Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
The Mordor game. That's not out till like May, right?
Yeah,
and
something like that.
But right after they announced it, Major Nelson put on his blog, "Hey, you can download this right now, or you can pre-order it right now." I'm like, dang, that's like 3 months ahead of time, but that's great. And if you want that game, you buy it. It's going to be downloaded. It's going to be there as soon as 12:01 hits. You load up the game and you play it. Right. That is amazing.
Now with that though, I'm trying to think. With digital, let's say you buy it digitally through your Xbox, you can cancel it up to a certain point, right?
No.
Okay, so once you pre-order it on there, it's stuck.
If you were to buy Shadow of War right now, they bill you the total cost, and you own that game.
So now there's no way to cancel.
You could probably go through their customer service prior to launch, and they could probably do something. Sure. But it isn't like if Amazon, if you went in and pre-order today, they will just verify your account, and they won't hit your account until they get ready to ship it. Right. But on Xbox Live, they will take the money out the day that you buy it. Even if it's 2 or 3 months down the road, they will go ahead and take the money out. You now own that game.
Okay. I was just curious because I've never pre-ordered anything digitally. If I'm gonna get it digital, I just buy it the day of. So because most games release on Tuesdays, right? So Monday at midnight, I got to work the next day. Am I really gonna stay up and play? No, I'm gonna get it after. I'm gonna play it after work. So normally, what I do on things like that, like for example, I didn't buy Mass Effect, but let's say for example, I wanted to pre-order it digitally. I wouldn't do that. What I would do, I would wake up the morning the game came out before work, so like 6 a.m. or so. I'd turn my Xbox on, I'd buy it, and then I'd go to work. So as soon as I got home from work, it's there. For me, that's the exact same effect. Unless they're offering something worth, pre-ordering for, like some special digital item or something like that. Because
but if you you're talking about 24 hours. Like if you know on Tuesday I'm gonna get up in the morning and I'm gonna buy it, why not just on Monday? Why not just log in Monday before you go to bed? Go ahead and buy it and queue it up. Now we're just arguing semantics.
Right. Sure. Exactly. But I'm just saying that I've never pre-ordered anything digitally just because I just never have. Now the last time I was really excited, I guess you could say, for pre-orders. Actually, I wasn't excited, but it kind of caused some issues. Is they don't really do this anymore, but every store would give a different thing. Because I remember the first example that comes to my mind. I don't know why there's a game that comes to my mind. PlayStation 3. Mod Nation Racers, right? I know you probably never played this game, but it was a great karting game, right? It was awesome.
I made a Green Range.
Honestly, it's an amazing kart game. I'm sad to see it go, but with that game, I had the hardest because I knew I wanted to pre-order it. I'm like, I want to have this day it comes out. I wasn't really buying digital then. I was buying everything physical, but I'm like, where do I buy it? Because it was like GameStop, you could get Ratchet and Clank as racers, right? Yeah. And then Best Buy, it was I don't know, Sly Cooper or something. It was all these PlayStation characters, but depending on where you bought it was who you got. And so honestly, I like debated forever in my mind. I'm like, where do I buy this? And I remember I ended up getting the one with Ratchet and Clank because I got 2 characters that way, right? Not just one, I got 2 characters. And I loved it. It was great. I could ride around as Clank and it was awesome. It was fantastic. But companies don't really do that anymore because they got a lot of kickback, right? Because now companies are like, oh, well, another problem with that, if you wanted those other characters, majority of the time, you couldn't buy them for a long time. They're exclusive to that retailer through a deal, and maybe, you know, how many months down the road, eventually you could buy them. Yeah. But that caused a lot of problems because, honestly, if you looked at a lot of those pre-order, you know, specials, majority of the time, like 75% of the time or more, GameStop always got the best deal. Always. Yeah. And because I remember, like, it was like, was it Infamous 2, I think? It was like, you know, if you pre-order from Best Buy or Walmart or wherever, you get like a jacket or whatever. But if you pre-order from GameStop, you're going to get that jacket plus all these extra powers you couldn't get any other way. And it's like, it kind of made it unfair to the retailers. You know, why would I buy from Walmart or Best Buy when I can buy from GameStop and get all this extra stuff? And so a lot of companies kind of backed off of that now.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think that was really from backlash. But you don't even see, very rarely do you even see pre-order bonus stuff in general now. Sure. Like I can't remember the last time, and I'm sure it still happens occasionally, but I can't remember the last time they even promoted like. I mean, I didn't remember anything from Mass Effect. Like pre-order and get.
I think GameStop gave you because the thing with GameStop, because I'm a GameStop member, pro member, or whatever, I get emails on it constantly. You know, hitting my email, and they still do that. It's small stuff like, you know, get an N7, you know, armor or gun, or like it's something that doesn't actually affect the game. Yeah. But they still give you stuff.
Yeah, I just like for a long time, I don't. Like I said, I haven't really been a physical game, you know, buyer in a long time, but it was so loud for years. You know, it's like, this is the pre-order bonus, this is what you're getting, and I just don't hear it very much at all. Even as much as we follow the industry, like I just don't. It's just not as, for me, it's not as loud. So.
And I feel like GameStop is the only place that still does it, because they have to push their employees to do it, right? Because GameStop's the only place I can think of, because they're all video games. That's all they do. Amazon doesn't care if they lose a sale because they didn't offer some, you know, digital doodad or whatever, you know, Walmart. They don't care because they sell so many things. GameStop, they have to force their employees to get so many pre-orders, you know, a day or week or month or whatever it is. Yeah. And so to kind of help with that, I mean, they're saying if you get from GameStop, you will get something special. It's nothing great, but you will get something special. So I don't know how much that really influences people. Like I said, the last time a pre-order bonus actually influenced me was PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I'm telling you right now, money influences me. So, so 100%. Amazon is the only place that I will pre-order physically from ever. Now,
and even with Amazon though, they give you that bonus whether you pre-order it or get it within 2 weeks of it releasing. So you don't even have to pre-order it. It's like let's say you want to wait and get the reviews, because I mean, you know, we talked about that in a break room earlier this week about review scores and do they matter. Some people that really matters, so they might wait till the day it releases, check out the review scores. Oh, that only got a 7, or oh, that's got a 9. I have to get this game. They're gonna buy it from Amazon if they're a Prime member, because you're gonna save it's 20%, right? I think it's 20% on your game. No, Best Buy does it too with their Gamers Club. I'm not a member of that, because the closest Best Buy to me is like an hour away, so I don't really deal with that. But I know they've got a similar program.
Yeah. I mean, again, none of that stuff really matters. If there's something that I really want bad enough, they're gonna offer it at some point as DLC, and I'll just pay for it. But you know, money at the end of the day is always gonna matter. So you know, like I was going through and I went ahead and pre-ordered you know, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I pre-ordered Lego City Undercover, and I've pre-ordered ARMS, and I think they have Mario Odyssey, so I went ahead and pre-ordered that too. Yeah, through Amazon. Yeah, and all of those, you know, all those are $10 off. You know, they're 20%. So
I feel like we've talked about a digital future, right? In previous this week, And with that, I mean, I think this is Amazon's and Best Buy's way of still trying to get people to buy physical, right? Because they have all this stock. Because like you said, like I can't remember if it was on this one or a previous episode, you had talked about how they have to sell hardware. And they're not going to sell hardware without games, so they have to have the physical games in store. And like, well, we have to have these. We know most people are going to buy digital because that's the way the future's going. But if you're going to buy it from us, here's 20% off.
Yeah.
So they're still going to get it out to you, more cheap than they can.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty awesome. So to kind of wrap this thing up, do pre-order bonuses? I mean, can you think of any time? Like I thought of the Ratchet and Clank Mod Nation Racers. Can you think of a time that some kind of digital item pre-order you were excited for?
Never. There's never been anything. The only thing that entices me is physical. Mm-hmm. So there have been several times that they've had like. I'm trying to think about an actual like a specific example, but whether it be like a lapel, like a collector's, like an enamel pin, or a keychain, or I like just like little memorabilia stuff like that. I remember I got so when I bought Mega Man Legacy Collection, I believe.
Okay, on 3DS, right?
On 3DS? It was, but it was when I bought the 360 or the Xbox One. Mm-hmm. I think it was on my Xbox One, whatever version it was. I believe that was the game, but I got this really cool wall scroll. It wasn't super big, but it had like it was like Mega Man 25th anniversary, and so it had like original Mega Man and like Mega Man X, and then Mega Man from Battle Network. I
totally forgot about Battle Network.
Yeah. So, but it just kind of had them all there. It was a really cool pose. So, like stuff like that, I absolutely love. So, if it's something that I care about, so like Mega Man, of course, I'm a huge Mega Man fan. So, any like Mario or Zelda thing, I would do that. Like if Breath of the Wild came with a I went and bought a Sheikah Slate cell phone case. Awesome. So like if it came with like some kind of Sheikah Slate keychain or something like that, or a ball cap or anything like that, like I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. Sure. So I would probably pre-order the game, and even if I don't want the game, I'd just return the game and just kept the pre-order stuff.
Sure.
But
they do say that you get to keep it. That's part of pre-ordering.
So like the digital stuff really doesn't matter to me, and I'm not much of a multiplayer, and a lot of that stuff is normally like multiplayer skins. Right,
yeah.
And I just don't play a lot of multiplayer games, so none of that stuff has really ever appealed to me.
Sure. Okay. Cool. Well, what do you guys think? Do pre-orders still matter to you? If not, why? Is it just because it's digital stuff you're never going to use? And with going a full digital future, we're hoping to see. We don't know. Would there be any kind of pre-order bonus that would still entice you? Let us know in the comments down below. If you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe. Would absolutely love it. Share it with your friends. That would also be awesome. As for the Life of Gaming, you can always hit us up on Facebook and on Twitter at Life of Gaming Pod. You can also find us on Twitch stream, same place. But we hope you enjoyed this episode of The Break Room, brought to you by Life of Gaming. Water cooler conversation in your face. But until next time, guys, we are out. We hope you enjoyed this content from the Life of Gaming. If you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe down below. You can also catch our weekly podcast every Sunday on iTunes, SoundCloud, and the Google Play Store. You can find us on Twitter at Life of Gaming Pod and on Facebook. Until next time, we are out.